So I moved 70 Malayalam Indians in my church. Can you believe that? Yo tengo gozo, Venezuela Danel, Fairvalley Cadet Corin, up there, down there, and in there. Amazing what God does. It's not complicated. I was having 1,000 people back in 1981. It's amazing. A Korean church came by and said, do you know anybody who wants to sell a church? I said, I know somebody who wants to give one away. He looked at me, give one away? Yeah, where's it? I said, here. Move in upstairs next Sunday. So help me. Consamida. He's there. Isn't it complicated? Is it really complicated? Do you know how many people want your love? How many people want your relationship in this town? How many people want your gentle touch of their life? Do you know how many people are waiting on you? There's a world. There's a world waiting out there like that. I'm telling you, God is searching us today. And I saw God bless that church. And it was all about breaking through the barrier. And Jesus said, greater works than these shall you do. That's our mandated mission. Greater works than these shall you do because I go to my Father. If I go to my Father in John chapter 14, he says, ye shall ask anything in my name, and I will do it. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the fact that we are to preach the gospel to the poor. We're to heal broken-hearted people. We're to set at liberty them that are bruised and bound down. We're to command the devil to take his life off of them. We're to preach deliverance and the power of God and to declare this is the day of the Lord. And greater is he that's in us than he that's in the world. And no weapon formed against us shall prosper. But our weapons are mighty to tear down a stronghold. We're not a defeated group of people. We're a mighty army. And we're going to march to this land and take the kingdom back.
Amen.
It's our challenge. This was brought home to me. I was the overseer of the Church of God in Texas, and that's a big state. And you know, you go through all day long, with people. Somebody mad about the carpet in their church or some preacher having problems, it's all day long stuff. And my house, I've got this den. When I get home, there's a chair, and there's a television, and I want to turn on the news to see if anybody's had a worse day than I have. You know what I'm saying? That's my place to relax. That's where I go to. And I like to have that spot, after I've been chewed up, beat up, that's where I go. But I've had a boy. That boy can find the most unusual people in all the world. I get home one day, and he's got this big 6'6" boy that's walking all over my den, squeezing her. I said, I want to join the army. I thought, boy, if I was a recruiter, I'd take you today, buddy. I'd get you today. I don't know where this other girl come from. She's stretched out taking a nap on my couch. Where did she come from? And some of the most unusual looking people I've ever seen in my life all over my den. In my chair. This is nothing. This isn't right. I went back to the bedroom where my wife had gone to kind of get a little bit of help there, and get away from the crowd. I opened the door. I said, what do we have in the den? Is that a zoo? Where did they get out of captivity? Now look, at least they're at our house. They're at our house. Do you ever hear that noise? Never? Well, at least they're at our house. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that bunch of lazy people out of my den, and I'm going to put them on the road right now. You watch one day. I come out of that den, and when I did, there's a little boy. He looked about 6 years old. He come walking down the hall. Had little black circles under his eyes. My son had picked him up, and he was taking care of this child while his mother worked at a 7-Eleven. He had no place to go, and he drug around with a bunch of teenage kids, He looked up at me. He said, Mister, I'm hungry. Have you got anything to eat? How can you be mad now? How can you be tough now? Here's a kid. He's hungry. And it dawned on me. I've been messing with Christians all day long. Hard-headed, smart-aleck Christians. Just that close from being backslid. But now, I've got Jesus standing in a hall in my house. Here he is. As you have done it unto the least of these, you have done it even so unto me.
Amen.
And I said, that boy, would you like a peanut butter sandwich? Oh, yes, mister, I'd like peanut butter. And I got to realize, this old warty hand of mine is getting ready to make Jesus a peanut butter sandwich. And I said, would you like to have some jelly on this sandwich? Oh, yes, I would, mister. Now, how would you fix a sandwich for Jesus? Would you put a whole lot of jelly on it? Or would you try to save it back? Pastor, I made the sloppiest sandwich ever. This is a chance of a lifetime.
Amen.
I can make Jesus a sandwich. His eyes watched every move I make. I made him a sandwich, and he starts to sit down at the table. Oh, no, son. We're going in the dining room. Let me turn on the chandelier. I don't have paper plates now. I've got a special guest. I know where my wife has her silver. And I know where she has her crystal. And I get a crystal plate down. I put that sandwich. I said, all I want to do is watch you eat it. Well, sure you. Yes, sir, mister. Would you like to have some milk? And that's when I pulled out one of the goblets and poured it full of cold milk. And I sat down and watched this kid who didn't have a father, whose mother was in trouble. And I watched him, for he was Jesus Christ. And he was making a sandwich. I made Jesus a sandwich. And I watched that boy eat it that day. Now that's what it's all about. That hand made a sandwich. There are people in this house today, and all Jesus is saying, I'll get it to you if I can get it through you. If he would bless you financially, would you reach out and bless somebody else? Or would you go buy you another IRA? Or you could buy you some gold, you know. If he were to help you today, would you add another room to your house? Or would you bring an orphan home to live with you? You see, we get so stinking complicated about what it's all about. What is the mission of church? And this is it. He wants to flow through us and out of us. And all he wants us to do is to be a blessing. To be a blessing. Be a blessing. You've got a good sense of humor coming in. I won't make a sinner out of you. I'll get you saved before we get through, okay? What's your name? Lewis. Okay, let's say Lewis is a sinner. And I go to him. I want to win him to the Lord. And I grab him. Hey, Lewis, turn you burn, fire you fry. The Antichrist is going to get you. You're going to get stung with a scorpion out of Revelation. You better get saved. No. I think sometimes we just scare the devil out of people, too. It's not the way to do it. See, hey, Lewis, here's your coat. Winter's coming. Thank you. He said, why did you give it to me? Because I love you, Lewis. Forget it. Hey, Lewis, I just fixed your car. The trouble was with the carburetor. I got it working for you. Well, what do I owe you? Nothing. I love you, Lewis. Leave him alone. Hey, Lewis, here's $20. Take your family out to a fancy restaurant like McDonald's and have a bacon on it. Now he's telling his wife, what's that hillbilly doing next door? Look what he's done. He's blessed me. He's blessed me. He's blessed me. Hey, Lewis, do me a favor. He can't say no. It's 3-0. Do you see the principle? Yes. It's 3-0. And I say, Lewis, go with me to church Sunday. I'd like for you to go hear Brother Goodwill preach. Let alone hear me teach, you know, I'd be good. And so what can he say? He can't say no. I told you it's 3-0. I blessed him. I blessed him. He comes in this church, sit down right back there with us. Man, listen to a pastor preach. You ever hear a guy preach like that?